Good morning. My name is Derry, and today we are going to be starting the drawing. We are going to be working on the comic for the, what is it, 10 pages in 1 month comic challenge. And yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun with it. Okay, I need to pull up some references, so I'm just going to be vibing and chatting till then. But once we're in the kick of things, it'll just be art from there on out. Now, first thing I want to do is I want to figure out what kind of line art I want to do. So I'm just kind of brainstorming at the moment about how I kind of want to pursue that. So I'll turn up the music a little bit because last time I had it down a bit and people were telling me that it was a bit too loud. So hopefully it's all fine and dandy. So I'm thinking we should probably use like a hard ink. That's what I'm currently thinking. Because I draw mostly in a very soft brush, right? But having something hard, like a G pen or something, would be pretty smart. Hello, Effie. I'm just grabbing some references for myself because I'm not sure how I want to ink it just yet. And I would imagine it would look best if I kept it pretty consistent for the whole thing. So my current plan is to get something nice down. So my dog is barking and I'm not quite sure why. There's been a lot of barking in the neighborhood all day. Ignoring me but saying hi to the frogs? No, you just said my favorite streamer, ignore, you're the only one I watch. So I wouldn't call it ignoring, per se. But here, we'll look at the art software real quickly. Let's go ahead and get the drawings pulled up. Oh my god, Snake. Yes, this was my little warm-up. Drew a snake with a flower. Snake. Love him. He's a good guy. Challenge. Petrifying meeting. That is what we called it, isn't it? A petrifying meeting. Okay. Yeah, we won't save it. So we're going to start with page 1. I'm going to keep everything pretty simple. So something we can do is we can get rid of the text boxes. All right. So this one's all background. What do I want to line with today? So Sharp Brush is pretty nice. It's a brush I made to just be able to, have the range I want. To be able to suddenly do very thick or very thin lines. Works a bit like a G pen in that sense, but I feel like I'm not going to worry too much about line weight for now. Honestly, it might be a good idea to use like a round brush or something. maybe we want a little texture. I also have this blur sketch, which I like. Actually, now I'm curious now. Does it use... Currently I'm looking at the brush settings for it. I'm curious if this uses correction. Stabilization 2. Has a taper. Okay. The lines are drawn like brush with one tip after the pen. Okay. But there's no post correction or stabilization, but it feels like there is. See, it does this thing where when you start off the line, it's all blotted and then it thins out. And I'm really impressed with that. I don't know what they did. This one blur sketch tool I have isn't one that I made. There's brush density. Pen pressure, and then that's just normal. Uses a custom material. Let's see. Paint. Okay, replace. Oh, that has some... Oh, okay. 40 and 45. Fascinating. So I'm just curious what happens if I apply that to something else I have. I also have Blur Sketch 3 and 2 as well. Hello, Edgar. Welcome back. Glad to see you again. The velocity settings. You know, I never mess with the velocity settings for custom brushes. Maybe the stabilization of 2 is also helpful. No. Why does this feel so weird? Edgar says, sorry I won't be able to chat too much because I'm drawing, but I'm still gonna look at chat every few minutes. That means you're gonna be doing exactly what I'm doing, Edgar. I welcome it. Right now, instead of working on the line art, I'm trying to understand why my brush, like, there's a specific brush I have. Starting and ending. Starting 20, ending 20. Starting and ending speed. Do I have that? Oh, okay. They have a couple more stabilization settings. Like they have adjust by speed. Fascinating. Hello, Dano. I'm glad everyone's out here drawing. You don't need to worry about stabilization for now. And I don't need pressure and velocity. How does it work if I actually... Experimenting with brushes is something I have fun doing. Well. First of all, I was not supposed to get rid of pen pressure. And I had it on pen pressure and tilt. Okay, she dies like a weirdo. They had it on velocity. Alright, having it on velocity is very interesting. Have fun. Okay. I'm drawing the Wolverine. What? Edgar's drawing Wolverine. Wolverine's fun. Don't know if I've drawn Wolverine. What the heck was I doing here? Okay, so changing. What happens if I do this? It just ceases to exist if I go too fast. That's wild. Stabilization 2. Let's add the ability to adjust it by speed. Let's give this the settings the other one had and see how much of an impact it makes. Oh, it feels very fun. Hytale Scarrick says Effie, Wolverine's fun and so are you. Thank you, Edgar. I don't know what I'm feeling for the lines. Pencil brush I made. We can use my Milky Way brush. I'm not quite sure. What I do know is I want the multiply layer to not be as dominating. Let me pull up a reference of a bird real quick. Alright, what I'll do is I'll pop out the chat. So that I can see it in my references at the same time. There we go. Thank you all for joining, by the way. It's nice drawing with some company, honestly. Oh, I'm using my... I'm using the wrong brush, but it's fine. I honestly don't remember making this brush. Let's add some stabilization, actually. It's impressive that you make your own brushes. Thank you. I don't believe in using brushes I don't understand. What's all Safi? What's a Hytale Scarrick? Hytale Scarricks are pretty awesome. I'll let Effie share the details, though. We are mildly, massively behind on this project. I mean, everyone is, so I can take solace in that. Do you know what Hytale is? And then Ice Cream Galaxy says Minecraft 2.0. I would say they're both block-based games that are trying to achieve very different things, honestly. But there's quite a bit of overlap. For someone who needed a reference to draw a bird, you seem really experienced in drawing them. Oh, thank you. I would say I have very minimal experience drawing birds. Although, like, there's a certain allotment of different animals where you can draw a blob, and all of a sudden, it looks like the animal. That's the case with frogs, cats, what is it? Why am I blanking on it? Raccoons. There's a lot of just different animals where they're just blobs. Mice and rats, that too. And they just have some key characteristics that help them shine. But the reference helps a lot too. Effie then says, Hytale is a voxel sandbox game in development made by Hypixel Studios. The game takes place in a fantasy setting similar to Dungeons & Dragons, but it has its own factions. One of them are the Scarix. Scarix are an alien-like, bug-oriented faction. Scream Goddess then notes, I keep reading it as Scarab like Blue Beetle. Edgar says, nice, and nice, and nice again. Edgar says, I love how your lines are so elegant, even though I like bold lines, yours are soft, and that's really cool. Thank you. I also like bold lines. Often I change how I'm rendering them depending on the mood of the scene. I know I'm gonna be doing... I don't know, I'm experimenting. I'm trying to paint my lines, if that makes sense. So I'm not... In my mind, this doesn't feel as much like line work. It feels like I'm creating a more painting. And much like in painting, you are more efficient, and it looks a lot better if you try to make each line meaningful. So I'm trying not to just throw together what I think would look nice, and instead I'm thinking about, like, alright, if this was a single stroke, how would this go? But that's just what I'm trying to do. I don't know how effective I'm going to do at it. Line light, because burb light. Actually, this burb's made of stone. Most of my lines don't even connect, and that's kind of awesome. You say it's awesome now. Wait till you see me start screaming as I try to do flats. Once I try to fill in the flat colors, the lines will become a lot more painful since they're disconnected. But I think it looks nicer to not have every line connected. The difference in line weight and having them spaced out like that, by the way, is a technique to help communicate where the light is. So you'll see me take away in some areas and add more to imitate texture and lighting. Also, speaking of painting, I looked at your art thumbnails on your channel, and they're really freaking good. Thank you! Hopefully you'll get to see a bit more of my art shine as I work on this. Yeah, I'm also keeping in mind that everything from this point onwards that I just did in a very thick stroke is not going to be seen. So I'm not worried about that as much. Actually, might pull out a page of Witch Hat Atelier for myself real quickly, as I am using, what is it? Since this bird is petrified, within the series Witch Hat Atelier, there's some creatures and characters that end up petrified. Since it's a manga, it's like all line art, so I have a feeling it'll be a wonderful reference, so I'm going to grab that real quick. Right. It's petrifying how good it looks, says Effie. Oh, thank you. Hopefully I can keep up this quality. Edgar says, to be honest, I didn't watch your streams too much because I didn't like the process of thumbnails too much. But for this, I'll stay because I like seeing people ink. That's completely fair, to each their own. I think the process of watching thumbnails is... I also don't think it's the most interesting thing, but I feel like there's no showings of it when it's a very important part of the process. I'm totally running away from my bird leg responsibilities. I would actually have an easier time drawing the bird leg if I'm being honest. I think the legs, like a hint of them being there is cool, and I like the idea that like the bird essentially looks like it's a one of those like trophies, and the petrification kind of like locked its legs. Cool. Thank you. I'm also trying to stay zoomed out, so I don't get too lost in the details. If I keep in mind that people are going to be seeing it from a more zoomed out frame of reference and are only going to spend like a minute looking at it, I shouldn't be spending a year on a panel people are going to look at for like a second. Alright, let's quickly create a perspective grid right here. Layer, new layer, a nice little 1-point perspective. Layer, ruler, create perspective ruler, 1 point. Let's not have it be Fish Islands. Puts it at the bottom for some reason. No, bad. Put it within folder I'm going to be using it. And Edgar's going to be right back. And Dano said Badum Tish. Oh, because of... Okay. I did not process what you were saying there until I read it out loud. That's wild. So that... And... Why is that happening? Oh, okay. I was gonna say, this is a very simple shot. It doesn't need to, what did I do? Oh dear. I'm making a mess. Go to the ruler, and then we're gonna have guides. Nope. Perspective ruler, add guide. Abby said, you have my full attention now. And I said, I honestly used to get so bored with line art that I spent months creating a workflow so that I don't need it anymore. Yeah, I think line art is not my favorite, but I definitely see its place. Okay. I'd like to get back to my background lines. How many times does Derry say we don't have time for fancy stuff experimenting, then does it anyway, so check neat. Okay. I see what you're doing. Go sideways, go sideways, go sideways, go sideways. What the heck? We're just gonna make a secondary one. Because it's not snapping how I want it to. And I hate that it keeps putting the rulers at the bottom. Although that might be a good place for them, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it. But too late. Please, please. Please, please, please. Please, please. Oh my goodness. I do not like the special ruler in this software compared to other ones. Edgar says, dude, I freaking love line art now that I do cross-hatching and make it super detailed. Cross-hatching's fun. Iceberg says, I just cry every time I draw because I don't know what I'm doing. And Edgar says, I do a crappy sketch in like 2 minutes, and inking digitally is where the fun really begins. I see, I see. Okay. I personally am not a fan of the ruler being so mean to me right now. That's frightful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off layer grabbing. What I wanted it for anyways was just to give myself a more thorough kind of perspective area. Instead, I'm going to use shift click, and we're going to swap to a 0.5. And we're just going to follow the guides. I'm almost done with my Wolverine that I've been working on. Way to go, Edgar. Ruler is a hater. Ruler is a hater indeed. That's about there. So this is going to be a thatched. No says, what's your favorite Breath of the Wild race? Example, Rito. Aside from humans, probably Gorons. I think the designs of the Zora are pretty awesome. but I think the lore of the Gorons are really funny. Like, there's no such thing as a female Goron. So then you start asking, how do they reproduce? And because you can clearly see there's like grandpa and children ones. So it's like, do they just plop out another one? I don't know. But I think they're an interesting species. Edgar says it's actually a drawing of a drawing I did a few weeks ago, but with the same composition, but I'm applying the things I've learned to see how much I've improved in such a little amount of time. I love doing that. I'm happy for you. If he says they gay, they can be gay. I'm just curious, like, how they have child. It's like the rock things from Thor where they hold hands over a fire for 9 months. That's crazy to think about. When a mommy and a daddy love each other very much, little baby comes and makes them very happy. Stork. Edgar says, from what you're describing, that fictional race sounds like Namekians from Dragon Ball, because there's no female ones. Fascinating. Aren't Namekians, Piccolo? Or is Namekians more like... I can't remember who Namekians were. I watched Dragon Ball a while ago, though. Asking about his zoned out and doesn't know what species we're talking about. Gorons from a Zelda franchise. We're gonna want something on top and something on bottom. What other details are important to throw in here right now? Probably not a lot. Because we're conveying that it's some kind of garden. Essentially just a bunch of flowers and stuff. Am I looking at this in, like, correctly, actually? I think I am. I don't know what I was cooking on this thumbnail. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna lighten that a bit, go back to our background lines. Yeah, Namekians is Piccolo. There's also other ones, but they were on a different planet in the Frieza saga. Okay. It sprouts from there. Well, okay, that's ChatGPT. I wouldn't exactly call ChatGPT a consistent source. Effie brought up a good point. Why would you even bother asking ChatGPT? Apparently new Joker movie is terrible. I didn't watch it because I can't and don't want to watch rated R movies. ChatGPT did not play Zelda. Gore and Blood bad. I see. I have also been hearing people say they were not too thrilled about the new Joker movie. Some people going out as far out and saying, don't waste your money. I mean, they've been killing it with the advertising for it, so it must have really bombed. Am I free Tuesday to see Joker? I do not know. I'm in crunch times. Everything I'm doing is kind of, TBD. Happy, are you bullying me? Wait, does Dairy Doodles know ice cream IRL? I'll do you one better. I feel like Dairy Doodles and Ice Cream Goddess could be dating. Just an idea. Oh, Effie said, no, I'm relating. We are the same. Fair enough. Goddess is Tuesday's discount day at the theater, and I love DC, so he knows there's no choice. Oh, okay, my bad. It's tragic. Apparently it's boyfriend day, and I have to work the whole day. I can't even celebrate boyfriend day. On an unrelated note, I hate celebrating events like that. So the big question I gotta ask myself while I'm doing this line art is, I am trying to paint it, but I gotta ask myself, how much of it do I want to paint, and how much do I want the line to show the painting? Because that changes a lot of things on how you approach it. Knew the shit between you and ice cream was canon. If you want an extra crazy fun fact, my first like non-drawing job was at Dairy Queen. Yep. It is iconic. Hello, Tempest Death God. You have a very angsty name. Oh my gosh. Where did you get your name, God? I need to know. Dairy Panda, Dairy Queen. The lore goes insane. No way you're gonna color this, let alone paint it. Oh yeah, I am. Maybe under a time limit, but that's not gonna stop me from doing what I love. I might do my efficient painting though. Sorry, efficient coloring though. How long do I have? 9 days, but I'm gonna try to get it done in 5. Is ice cream my Dairy Queen now? You know it is. Nothing can stop the panda of dairy. Ice cream has dairy, that is true. Compass Death God says, from my teenage years, but I got too lazy to change it since it got lore now. Oh my goodness, there's lore too? Hook me up. We're gonna be here for quite a while just drawing, so... This sounds like a wonderful way to pass the time. What is the lore? Your name is what Shadow the Hedgehog fans in 2005 would have made? Okay, we don't need to bully it. I don't think there's anything wrong with Edge. Dairy, is the panda hat real? That is also true. I have a real-life panda hat I got in the year 2014. And I've taken good care of it, and I've worn it since. You gotta know what the hat looks like? Tempest Death God says, Dear Diary, weren't you in a Skynex video? The cursed one. That is true, I was. You seen it? How did you like it? Edgar says, I'm a young artist with a mentally ill mother who doesn't live with me, and I have no dad, and yet this bright young boy is still staying positive and persevering through it. That's my lore. That is some heavy lore to just drop there. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad you're staying positive and persevering. That's a very good thing to do. Didn't someone draw with fishes? Ask Ice Cream Goddess. Yes, in that video, someone was tasked the fatal curse of being bound to the sea. And they had to just do the entire thing drawing with a fish brush. Holy smokes. Yeah. I'd say my craziest brush is, I thought it would be funny if I turned my character into a brush. So this is Chariot. I can just kind of make him appear whenever I want. And yeah, he's a very fun brush. You gotta make a chair it. Sounds like you're adding chair and idiot. Tempest heard the fish brush was God. I mean, God does persevere through many forms. It took 11 tries to draw that line. You all are gonna make me so insecure about drawing. Oh my gosh. Y'all are pointing out how long it takes me to redraw lines. What did I do to you? A chair that looks like him. Oh, I see. Still prefer the panda brush? I don't know if I have the panda brush on this version. I have a panda brush on my iPad, where it's a panda head, and it's just a brush. Actually, I think it's better if I do that. Yeah. But we're working with vectors, so when I try to erase a line, it's not actually erasing it. So I gotta use a custom, like, vector to do it. You don't need to be as fancy as I'm going for this. I like that shape a bit more. Looks like he has his own little pirate ship. Effie has a chicken brush. Imagine drawing a fish. At least it's not the Bubble Saga from yesterday. The Bubble Saga? Am I missing out on something? Oh, the speech bubbles. Yeah, those were a pain this time. Usually I have a lot of fun with speech bubbles, but on this project, that was painful. What's the bird sitting on? I'm finding out as we go through it. Tempest Death God says, do you have a schedule or do you just stream whenever? Currently, I'm just streaming whenever. And I'm going to be doing it more and more frequently because I'm on a deadline. And I wanted to do the entire thing live. How did everyone find Dairy's channel? Because I think mine is the weirdest. I would also love to hear how everyone found my channel. Because that... I don't know where you people came from. You just existed all of a sudden. That's wild to me. Effie says, I found your channel because you posted that you had a channel. Cool. I guess I'm not sure what I was expecting. Ice Cream Goddess says, when a mommy ice cream loves a daddy ice cream very much, where the heck are you going with this? What? Dano says, I found you ages ago when you did the banner for Croton's channel and would post in the art channel. You shut down the server and I found out you had a channel. Whoa, a survivor of the Great Purge. Well, happy to have you around. Yes. Sam is a very wonderful person. I'm sad to see that the channel got purged, but it was a big ask to keep it going, in my opinion. I think they did the right call. But the craziest thing is they committed. They actually purged. Like, whoa. Tempest Death God says, what time is it right now for you? Because you stream pretty early. Right now it's 5 o'clock at night. What will she say next? Effie's freaking out. He needs to know what happens when a mommy and a daddy ice cream love each other. Tempest Death God says European. No, I live in Alaska Standard Time. Yeah, I just live in the time zone though. Because after all, Alaska is a fictional place, much like Europe. So I can see the confusion. Survivor of the Purge. Why the heck is there so much lore? We could discuss it more when you get back. Dano says, I'm Aussie. Not really, because we don't exist. That's also true. Another fictional place. Some stuff said, what's the ice cream lore? He says, what do elves have to do with ice cream? What did Ice Cream Ghost even say? Little Ice Cream was forced to go to school. Nothing but a little nerd decided that elves were cool and picked up the harp. Then this weird panda believed in the little ice cream and encouraged it. Fascinating. What a story. This does not look right. So we delete. Welcome back, Edgar. Smirata says, I taught him to play D&D and got nicknamed the Goddess of Ice Cream. That is true. Epi says, Australia was invented to be the location of terrifying German bedtime stories. I'm learning new lore myself today. Whoa. Type of stuff. God says, Australia, the new Atlantic City. Okay. Effie says, how did you get the nickname? And then Dano says, I'm still mad about the YouTube video talking about the Emu War before... sorry, nobody knew about the Emu War before that. You're mad at your rise of popularity? That's crazy. Gary, do you want to hear some traditional German bedtime stories? Sure. What's the Emu War? And then Ice Cream God says, I was the DM and would jokingly give the players ice cream in-game, and they decided I was an all-powerful goddess. Well, we also got ice cream in real life if we were nice. That was nice. The 1940s, 30s, Australian government entered into an official war against emus and lost it. Kind of stuff. God says, what is the curse that you got in Skynex's vid? The rainbow one, right? I think I did 2 of them. Oh, let me drink some water. Yeah, we followed a Bob Ross tutorial for both of them, I believe. And the first one I did, my curse was... I'm trying to remember. It's been a minute. I know one of them I had to draw color inverted, and the other one was a lasso. Oh, I just remembered both of them. That was easy. Effie says, but the boy kept sucking his thumb, so the... Did I miss the first part? But the boy kept sucking his thumb, so the tailor came with his big scissors and cut off his thumb. What was the boy doing before he was sucking his thumb? The end, that's the short version? I appreciate the short version. I feel like I'm missing a little bit of context. Pretty sure that's the mode of it. Did you not see the first message? I see. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, for me, I don't see anything between all that makes sense and but the boy kept sucking his thumb. Alright, the lasso. You killed it with that inverted one. I probably haven't watched yet. The inverted one was really tricky. I don't think I did too good, but I don't blame myself, because having to color pick... Keeping up with Bob Ross is already a challenge in its own. But then having to grab the same colors he's suggesting, and inverting it real time, that's not fun. What? Why did YouTube do that? I don't know, Effie. I don't know. Edgar says, German bedtime stories are terrible. That is a sensical takeaway from what Effie has provided us. Only half a story. Duno says, people always talk about how dangerous Australia is and think it's exaggerated. Then I think about my childhood and realize we were evacuated from school twice because of deadly spiders. That's crazy. The highlight of my childhood was a snow day. Alright, and then Edgar says, do you have a Discord so I can share my art with you right now? I do have a Discord. I can't look at it just this moment, though. So give me a bit. Right now we're struggling on the bowl. Drawing is okay, but coloring is another thing since I got enthymophagia. Oh, that's a rough one. The first message is, there once was a boy who kept sucking his thumb, so his parents told him, stop sucking your thumb or the tailor with the big scissors will come and cut off your thumb. Oh, okay, yeah, that's some context that we needed. Draw half the bowl and then mirror it? That would be smart, Effie. I just don't know if I want to do that. We're gonna want some thicker line weight anyways. Okie dokie. Notice is gonna have to make a public Discord for when you're Famopus. I don't know what Famopus means, but if I ever become that, I'll think about it. Twice Moose slept in the overhang of the doorways to the school, so I had to have the indoor recess. I mean, you'd save time. Work smarter, not harder. Effie, I'm not saying that what you're suggesting is a bad idea by any means. I think it's a really good idea. I'm just saying, I don't know yet. Oh, I'm not gonna like this. That'll multiply? I'm so goated. This one needs to not be clipped. Let's bump up the stabilization. Right? I think the Discord name should be Serial Bowl. Since I got Anastasia, Tempest Death God says, I only color with base color, no shading, no highlight, just color. Fascinating. I'm not sure why you do that. I understand, because correct me if I'm wrong, but my current understanding is Anastasia is just you can't imagine things in your head. Correct? Edgar asks, what brush is that? This is the round brush. It is a brush that is round. It is default. You can't get more vanilla than this brush I'm using. Says, lo-fi Breath of the Wild music goes unreasonably hard. Yes, it does. I love it. Right now I have a compilation of Zelda lo-fi playing. The milk carton, call it the dairy aisle. When you make a Discord server, may I be in it? Yes, you may. I'm not really gonna restrict. Well, maybe. It depends if I'm doing the Discord server for my comic or for a YouTube. Because that greatly changes who I want on it and who I don't want on it. Because they're gonna have very different intents and purposes. The round brush is round? Indeed. The one you use for 2 lines at the same time. For 2 lines at the same time? I don't think I understand. Yeah, but no, there's a different phases of Anastasia. The one you said is the worst one. Oh, okay. Effie says, can I be there? Of course. Is the comic published yet? It is not. I wish I could show you the first few pages, but currently I need to work on this. I don't have time to do a read-through at the moment, sadly. I'm just trying to come up with a fun little design. Right now it looks like a little boat, and I'm really enjoying that. We don't want it to go all the way to the edge, though. And there. Now that design we were trying to do earlier just looks much better. It's that simple, folks. Make sure the grass is cutting through, and we can touch that up later too. And then layer below. What? What? Excuse me? Uh-oh. Oh dear. Okay, well, first of all, missing the line entirely is not going to be helpful. Where did it all just go? I feel like I know what happened, and it was what I was describing before where I can't erase, and I've very much been erasing. Yep. Oh dear. Okay. Excuse me, princess. I'm not sure what to do here. So I'm just not going to worry about it. Ever. I'm just gonna pretend nothing happened. Alright, I need to catch up. Is the comic published? Yes. I have not published it yet. No. Edgar says, uh-oh, the Nintendo ninjas are gonna strike you down IRL. Oh, I hope not. Evis says, no spoilers. Dino says, gotta stay on the grind. Ice Cream God says, they want to eat the comic art. For real, can't wait for the bowl to be done in 9 days. Okay, I'm moving on from the bowl entirely now, Effie. Are you happy? What is the bird standing on? A bowl? Boat? The fountain thingy? Or a cage? I don't know. Rasterize? The issue is I don't know if I want to rasterize this in case I need to scale it around later. When in doubt, pretend it never happened? Absolutely. Let's just keep drawing. Make life nice. Big issue is I'm not as disciplined when it comes to doing these longer arching lines for line art. Since usually I paint everything. So I know a bunch of different methods to achieve those effects without actually having to have the skill practiced. How many layers do you have for this panel? I have quite a few layers for this panel, but I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drawings I need to do for this page. Is your comic cringy? Is your comic cringy still being worked on? Effie, I'm insulted. I am so insulted. Scrap the bowl, make the bird float. I don't know if I want it to float. Is the bowl looking bad? It was originally supposed to be on a different elevation, but I think my brain just wasn't working when I was drawing it. That doesn't make sense to me. Post-grade you already? Yeah, so Effie doesn't just break my heart like that. Misnaming my grandiose story. I don't even know if that's a bowl or a helmet. I don't know in what world you're seeing a helmet, but if it's bothering you that much, I can get rid of it. Goodbye, hard work. You like the bowl? It's gone. But if you put it on a rock, I think I'm just gonna put a tree here. Like a nice little, like, branch of a little tree. Standing on one of the roots. I don't have a lot of time to experiment, so I'm just gonna stick with stuff I know how to draw. I drew a frog. I do need to draw a frog on each one of these pages. I thought that would be a fun, like, victory lap to do at the end. Oh, lots going on. The bird looks like it has a scar on its eye, which is cool. Yeah, it's a part of the stony texture. In my mind, at least. What have you made it walk on water? What genre is the comic? The comic that you're looking at is a romance. My main story one is an adventure comic. Special Edgar spitting facts. What have you drawn? Which comic? Yes, Frog. Finally, I can be done being led on with the promises of frogs. You're still being led on in a way. You gotta wait till you get all the pages done. But I wasn't gonna not have frogs be in it. It's just they weren't the highest priority. I thought that would be fun to add in afterwards. Just paint them in. It's little Easter eggs. There's this challenge comic and then Kraiji that we're referring to. Yeah. So there's two different comics I'm working on simultaneously. I'm working on my passion project, and then I'm working on this challenge. How do you guys tag? You tagged. Not me, I just make snarky comments. Put that at the beginning, username, and then click it. Frog should always be the highest priority. Have you guys seen Pesto the Massive Penguin? I have not. Penguins are pretty awesome. I'd rather read an adventure than a romance comic, not gonna lie. That's fair, Edgar. That's my passion project's an adventure, so that one's targeting towards you a bit more. Adding doesn't work for me anymore. Oh, that's me. Also gotta keep in mind, the details we're adding isn't gonna be as poignant because this is all they're gonna be seeing. So cute. He's 9 months old and bigger than his parents. That does sound pretty cute, honestly. I am not a fan of working on vector layers, by the way. Just wanted to share that with the class. Powered penguin bred in captivity ever. This comic isn't going to be spicy, is it? I don't know what you mean by spicy. If you mean adult themes, no. It's a simple romance about a Medusa falling in love with her fantasy of who a guy she randomly petrifies could be. Definitely no food to add to the spices. And then this lists off quite a few different pepper types. I really like people who can draw straight lines because even if I have a ruler, it's not straight. I can draw straight lines. I just don't put in the effort. Because I could draw a pretty straight line. Oh dear. I'm just not super consistent with it. I haven't done the practice. I had other priorities, like lighting. Let's not leave the arm like that. Actually, I was like, we can get away without doing a crazy arm. But I didn't like it. Ice Cream Rose sent me a picture of the penguin. Rasterize is goated. I agree. I love rasterize layers. They're great for painting, but what they're not great for is scaling lines. So if I create a vertical format version of this comic, I won't be able to do a great job of translating many elements from it. Why do we choose such like a complicated establishing shot? Whose idea was that? Fire them. You clearly hate me. Here. Yeah, it's been like an hour and we're only... Are we even halfway through the first drawing? Good. I draw straight lines with no ruler. Edgar's just a champion. Nah, Medusa X statue. Nah, Medusa freaky. Okay. So basically, it's Medusa self-insert fanfic. Yeah, pretty much. Although, she doesn't really get anywhere. She's just like, oh wow, I bet you were amazing. Thank you for keeping me company. Have a nice day. Ava, welcome back from yesterday. How late are you? You are not late at all. We are going to be working on this for a minute. And then when I'm done with this, I work on other projects. So no sleeping for me. Who said I was a champion? I think I said that. I forgot the context though. The background music hitting. Agreed. Edgar says, I said this before, but imagine if the guy she fell in love with got turned back to life and he was just some normal dude. I have a feeling he is some normal dude, if I'm being honest. I hate it when past self's depictions come back to bite present self. Yeah. It's a little tragic. But hey, I won't know. One day I'll be done with this panel. When that day comes, will you be ready? How many pages have you gotten done so far? You're looking at the fattest 0 you've ever seen in your life. We're on page 1 right now. I wanted to paint draw. Why am I line arting? I need to paint the line art. We are here to have fun. And gosh darn it, we're gonna have fun. So let's just zoom out a bit. And have fun with it. See, you don't need to worry about straight lines if you intentionally don't make any straight lines. Don't quote that. Wait for you to be done with this page in 2026. I need to get like a getting bullied counter, just so you guys can be aware of every single time you tell me how long I'm taking. I know. Ah. You're so mean to Dairy Panda. He's doing well. Thank you. Yeah, no more straight lines. If they wanted to be straight, they should have joined someone else's comic, you know? Make me a mod and I'll make a bullet counter. My own comments don't count, though. Wait a minute. Also, you don't... Being a mod wouldn't give you access to my stream screen or anything. I don't know what making you a mod would have to do with it. Do you want to be a mod, though? You can be a mod. You just want the power? Alright, let me give you the power. Please use a keyframe frequency of 4 seconds or less. Current keyframes are not being sent often enough, which can cause buffering. Alright. Hopefully I just made the right person a mod and not a stranger. Okay. When that day comes, I'll be married with adult children. What? He spent ages for a bull/helmet? That won't see the light of day, I get it. Ah! Probably will fall asleep from watching this because I did like 3 tests in a row. How did they go? I remember you were studying for those. I'll get it. I'll get it. You don't need to say anything. I see it. I understand. I'll get it. I'm not trying to go for a straight line. Just one that works. Oh, look at that. 92 stabilization. I still didn't do a straight line. Oh my goodness. This is ridiculous. Path is the subject. Agreed. Tempest says, the problem... This is probably the last stream I'll join for a month since you stream so early for me. I only joined because I haven't slept and I'm scrolling on YouTube. That's fine, Tempest. Thank you for dropping by, though. Edgar says, by the time the single page is done, you and Ice will have been married already. Crazy statement. And I said, yet another day has passed without having to use trigonometry. Oh my goodness. What? I have another guide somewhere. What? Then I'll get rid of the other ruler. Why is the guide only good ways? Why are you being added onto the paper? What? On all layers. What? All right, I've had enough of these rulers telling me how to live my life. There's simple solutions to my problem, and I will just enact them all. I'm confused about one thing. Why is the line so long? God, I think that looks so ugly too. I could cheat, I'm just impatient and trying to do it fast, and that's going to end up taking much longer than actually doing it slow. Oh dear. Since you don't have a schedule, I'm probably sleeping when you are streaming. That is true. I'm going to work on a schedule and sticking to it in the future. Sorry about that hiccup. Ava's Wi-Fi just went out. That's tragic, but you're back because you're that awesome. Thank you for being awesome. Esmeralda says he was trying to put a schedule on Twitter and then got busy and forgot, but maybe we'll come back to it. Bro, so many layers. Sob? What? Oh yeah, that says 48. No, that's not 48. I do have a lot of layers though. That's a problem since I don't have Twitter because I got banned since yours a quote-unquote bot. I'll make a new account. I may be straight, but I prefer using curved lines most of the time. I just like it when I can get away with doing... Like here, I would like this to actually pretty loosey-goosey. And I'll just take it a line lighter. Breaking it up in this way helps a lot. Why am I not connecting little ones? This would be so much easier if I was just painting it. But painting it will genuinely take like twice as long. But much more disciplined in painting. Probably need to add a lot more flowers, huh? All right. Okay, I didn't miss too much. Ava says, I may be gay, but I also liked curved lines. Tempest the Death God says, you're the first streamer that I don't have to wear headphones to watch. I don't know how to receive that feedback. Edgar says, don't paint it, you don't have time. I'm tempted. I am tempted. I will not lie. I'm actually so tempted to just start painting right now. Ava's Wi-Fi is still fighting them. No, poor Ava. Okay. I have a little test we can see real quick. So we'll go to view, hide the crop markers. We're going to go all the way out here. And we're just gonna hide the background. Are we happy with this? Does this look good? Dino's bird walked over their keyboard? That's wild. Yeah, we don't know if this is good. We don't know. Oh, what Tempest means is that I don't swear? Fascinating. I swear all the time! Look better with colors. Not the Insta thing, by the way. It looks good. Thank you. I also think it'll look better with colors, but I want it to look good on its own. So... I gotta break it to you. You have been saying my name wrong. Is it Eva? Instead of Ava? Because Flex is turning off your sketch and the line art's still looking good. That is true. It's Eva. Okay, I'll try to keep that in mind. Sorry. Wally messed up how I can say the name for the rest of my life. Alright, we're taking out the sharp brush. I waited long enough. Oh my gosh, I still have sharp brush on all the other settings. Okay, stabilization. Take that off. Correction. Anything. Correction. Your brother named you after Wally? Well, after... Oh, your brother named you. That's pretty cool. Eva. Yeah, Wall-E is my favorite Pixar film of all time. My brother and I were barely trusting a fish, not even a dog. Edgar says, I gotta do my monthly brushing of the teeth. Ugh, I hope you brush a bit more than that. Ava says, yeah, because he was watching the movie when he saw me for the first time, so he said Ava, and your mom loved it so much, that's why they named you it. That sounds so wholesome. Hmm. Right now I'm looking at some references for backgrounds. Trying to mentally figure out how I want to just tackle it. I don't know, I consider backgrounds to be a lot more rigid. So thinking about approaching it with a flat, no line weight. Even though everything in my body does not want to do that. I did kind of start us off on like the hardest kind of panel to do. Eva's gonna sleep. Good night. We're gonna come back and work on that panel another time. I don't like working on it right now. It's causing me headache, so maybe we'll be more rejuvenated to actually like do a good job on it at a later time. Sleeping. Good night, Eva. I'm getting up a reference of a snake tail. Fascinating. Oh. Torture. Sorry you had to hear me go through that emotional roller coaster just now. So, what would be more fun here is... Snakes are cool. Snakes are cool. So we're just trying to do like a bit of a snake tail here. So odd how they just get smaller and smaller for like the bottom of it. Let's gonna be some scales. What would you say the weirdest hobby is? Ooh, that's a good question. The weirdest hobby. Eating cement. I would say that's pretty weird. Sorry about that. Ding, that was my phone. I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. It says, that is weird. However, I was thinking more like underwater cave exploration. I think that's a pretty normal hobby. That one kind of explores a very key characteristic of living creatures too, which is their wanderlust. I can see where you're thinking it's a bit odd people do that in the context of like, why are you so interested in going to the water place when you walk on land? Yeah, I think it's pretty popular to want to explore caves. It's terrifying and they do it for fun. Yeah, but that's like the definition of an adrenaline junkie. Some people only get the thrill if their life's on the line. Those people that go to abandoned buildings in the middle of the night just to look around. And Ice Cream Goddess says, I would go into the spooky buildings so it wasn't always light in the middle of summertime. I don't know. You're a bit more sheepish than you're putting up right now. Yeah. He's crawled into the abandoned army bunker before. Yeah, but I feel like it's a bit of a different circumstance. I just personally think that, though. Let's get rid of center line. Because I just don't think the center line's as fun. I'm deterred by the fact you just never really know if you're really alone. Yeah, that's some fears I've seen people have. Although you can take solace in it, like how Santa's always there with you, watching you. You always know you're gonna be safe. Kind of. I don't know how I'm feeling about the noodle. I feel like I'm gonna come back and just redo this entire page tomorrow, honestly. I'm not loving where I'm going with it. Made an instant account and you're back. Welcome back. Welcome back, Edgar. Sorry for getting real quiet. I'm trying to get into the zone. The zone is a very safe place. Where skill prospers. Oh, thank you for the follow, Tempest. Ice Cream Rose says, can't promise I'll post too much. I've been really busy trying to finish my degree and pass all my classes. Edgar says, I liked this live. Way to go. Okay, focus so you can finally finish a page. I'm jumping around it. It takes time. You're not gonna pump out a page in an hour or two usually. Okay, let's see here. God, I love the Zelda music. How many of you have played Zelda? It could be any Zelda game. Genuinely thought I was barking. Oh my goodness. No, I'm not barking. My little doodle mix is barking. Her name is Maple. Dino says, I've only played the newer ones, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. And Maple's name is cute. She does have a cute name. I named her. Damn, 2 hours now? Listen. Pages take time. Some people spend over 20 hours on a single page. I just don't have that luxury, is the issue. Tempest only plays mobile games. Fascinating. Dano said you didn't really get into Tears of the Kingdom. Fascinating. What about it were you not as big a fan of compared to Breath of the Wild? Because I know they have a lot of overlap. If she keeps barking, by the way, I can mute. If it's bothering anyone, just let me know. Tempest says, bye-bye, I need to sleep. It's 10 a.m. and you need to go at 1 p.m. Alright, thank you for joining, though. Take care, Tempest. Dino says, I thought they just tried to do too much with a game that was already very full. And I felt only a niche of people who really like playing with the mechanics could get the full experience. Fascinating idea on that. Yeah. I feel like, they did successfully deliver a very different kind of experience from Breath of the Wild, which was a bit of a concern for me personally, because I wasn't in a position where I just wanted, you know, to play one for one what Breath of the Wild was, but with a slightly different story. For instance, 1200 Koroks, but only 900 do anything. Yeah, no, Koroks, I've never understood why they coded them like that. And the girlfriend's got to give some food. All right, eat well. Well, I will say with a philosophy of fun before anything else, I felt like that definitely took precedent in a lot of the decisions they made. To be clear, I don't think the Korok idea is exactly the most fun, but I feel like the general philosophy they approached creating games with was pursued. So as a result, there's a lot of elements that probably didn't need to... Sorry, that there was a lot of elements that made the lore a bit weird. Like, what happened to literally all the ancient stuff from the previous game, as an example. Plot holes, very much so. I am not excited to draw the scales on these tails. You also just thought that Sheikah tech was cooler than Zonai tech. That is fair. I personally think that the Zonai stuff is cooler, but there is a very significant charm that is no longer there. Still a good game, you just didn't overall like it as much. That's fair. Yeah, I'm gonna be far from the anyone that's gonna try to tell you what you should like and what you shouldn't. Sorry if I didn't mouth that correctly. My brain's beginning to cease functioning. Words are hard. I'm glad you understand. You know, this noodle over here is actually just a bit smaller than the rest of them anyways, so I think I'll just scale this one up. I don't want to lose the curve of her back because that really helps interpret her anatomy. So I'm just going to have this one riding up a little bit closer to her neck. I don't know how I feel about this currently. Hmm. Just really quickly invert that. Am I happy with this? I do not know. I don't know. All right, well, I'm not very happy with how the line art is looking. I did the bird okay. I don't know how I started so strong on the bird and then everything else just kind of like didn't work out too well. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm actually probably going... I think I'll just end stream for now. And then what I'm going to do is work on flesh out some character design and try to figure out a way to do the line art that I'm going to be happy with. I know I don't have a lot of time left, but I don't want to post something where I'm not proud of its quality, if that makes sense. And while this all looks okay, I want it to look wonderful. And I don't really want to compromise too much to do that. So I think that's going to be my plan. But thank you to everyone that dropped by. I had a very good time on the stream. It's been a blast. It's also getting quite late. I'm getting very hungry, and I want to work more on it. But yeah, thank you everyone. Take care, and goodbye.